situated here. What's our topic for today? Excuse me. Today we're working on section 1.6.2. Make a few lines in here. It says knowing how to harden a handful of servers is very important. CompTIA Server Plus certification also applies to server management in large environments such as data centers. So always keep in mind how you can apply configurations on a large scale. That's just a last note from the previous section. Today's section is going to be network security. And we're going to start off by saying everything would be so much more secure if computers didn't connect to a network. Yep. But hardware and software security solutions to address network security. So let's make some notes. You jerk. How about get my dots there? Okay. Hardware and software. Soft we are soft. Hardware and software security solutions. That's what it's all about. The first step to protecting a network is being very selective about which users and devices connect to the network. Let's go back here. Step 1. How the fuck did that happen? Excuse me. How did I get up there? Here, over here. Step 1. How the... there we go. Okay, makes sense? Being very selective about which users and devices connect to the network. IEEE 802.1 security standard controls access to a network. Okay, let's write that down. IEEE 802.1x. Where do you know that from? Okay, is security standard controls access to it. So what else do we know about this? We also know 802.11, don't we? And what is 802.11? Wi-Fi. So it's Wi-Fi access to it. 802.11 is Wi-Fi access to a network. I think it's like 802.13 or something is Bluetooth, something like that. So 802.1x is like the general thing because 802.11 would fall underneath that. But we need to keep that in mind for the Server Plus. They want us to know IEEE 802.1 security standard, and that controls access to a network. Okay, so the idea is that network edge devices, so let's make a note of that. Network edge devices such as, what do we have? VPN concentrators, wireless access points, and Ethernet switches. VPN, whoops, caps lock on. Can do VPN VPN concentrators, wireless access points. Whoops, don't do that. There we go. Ethernet switches. Okay, and etc. Edge devices do not perform authentication of connecting devices. Let's read that again. Edge devices do not perform authentication of connecting devices. So let's make a note of this. Let's go down here. Edge devices, we can't stress this enough. We're going to say it again. Do not perform authentication of connecting devices. You just don't do it. Okay, but what does that mean? But instead, forward those requests to a central authentication server on a protected network. Make sense? Everybody in on this? Excuse me. So that's good to know. So in the case of a LAN device not supporting in the case of a LAN device, if a LAN device does not support IEEE, what is it, 802.1x? We got to know that. It can be disabled at the switch port level. At the switch port level. So what does that mean? We switch ports. That means we're going to block it as a frame. Because when we're talking about switch ports, we're talking about passing frames. And when we're talking about routers, we're talking about passing packets. And of course, that's where we get into IP addresses. Layer 4 is where we get into transport layer security. And okay. So sorry, routers, I didn't specify, but routers are a layer 3 device and switches are layer 2 devices. Traditionally, in the traditional sense of the OSI model. So let's get ready for our next segment here. Let's duplicate our slide. Our next segment is going to be called authentication. And we'll have a page 1. And when we come back, we'll talk about authentication. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll see you again soon.